On Réunion Island, one of Earth's most active volcanoes, did something it had not done in nearly 2 decades. First, it kept erupting for weeks. Then it cut the island's main coastal road in 2. Then the lava reached the Indian Ocean. And while all of that was happening, most of the coverage online still had the wrong name, the wrong place, and the wrong danger. The volcano's name is Piton de la Fournaise, French for Peak of the Furnace. Réunion is a French overseas department in the western Indian Ocean, roughly 800 kilometers east of Madagascar. Not Indonesia. Not the Philippines. Not anywhere near the subduction chains that generate most of the volcano content on this platform. Piton de la Fournaise sits over a mantle hotspot, the same kind of deep thermal plume that built Hawaii. It is a shield volcano, built from repeated flows of fluid basaltic lava. That means eruptions are frequent, lava moves fast, and the typical event produces fountains and channeled flows, rather than ash columns and explosive blasts. That distinction matters if you want to understand what actually happened this year. At the summit sits the Enclos Fouquet, a caldera roughly 8 kilometers wide, ringed by steep cliffs the French call ramparts. The caldera is uninhabited. On the southeastern side, the rim is breached toward the ocean, and that breach is the geographic reason the 2026 story became what it did. Most eruptions at Piton de la Fournaise stay inside the enclose. The lava fountains, the island watches from the viewpoint at Pas de Belcom, the flows cool, and life continues around it. That combination, a world-class eruption inside a natural containment, is a large part of why Réunion residents refer to the volcano simply as Le Volcan. It is theirs, it belongs to the landscape. The lower slopes below that caldera breach, the Grand Brûlé or Great Burn, are where that relationship gets complicated. Once lava exits the caldera and enters the Grand Ponce, the steep terrain running down to the coast, it is no longer a spectacle. It moves toward roads and toward the sea. Piton de la Fournaise has produced more than 150 recorded eruptions since the 17th century, which works out to roughly 1 per year averaged across that span. It sits alongside Kilauea in Hawaii, Stromboli in Italy, and a small number of others as one of the genuinely hyperactive volcanic systems on Earth. Because most of those eruptions stay inside the caldera, the hazard profile stays manageable most of the time, and that combination of frequency and relative containment makes it one of the most observed volcanoes in the world. The monitoring network at the OVPF Observatory is among the densest of any volcano on Earth, not because scientists chose to build it there arbitrarily, but because the volcano has been earning that attention for centuries. When it does break out of that pattern, as it did in 1977, as it did in 2007, and as it began doing in March 2026, the transition from watch to consequential happens fast. The 2026 reactivation did not arrive suddenly. Ground inflation had been building since mid-December 2025, and seismicity through early January told scientists the shallow magma system was under pressure. On February 6, 3 weeks before the eruption that would eventually reach the ocean, a swarm of 343 small earthquakes struck beneath the summit in a single hour. Not one of those events was large enough to feel on the surface. Together they indicated magma moving and the volcano preparing to act. The first eruption of the year came on the evening of January 18th. A seismic crisis at 1634 local time accelerated into volcanic tremor by 1948, and within an hour 4 fissures had opened on the northern flank of the terminal cone, all inside the Enclos Fouquet. Lava fountains reached no higher than 20 meters. Flows traveled 600 meters eastward by dawn. By January 20th the tremor had stopped, less than 1 million cubic meters of lava produced. The eruption was short and contained. What it triggered was not. Roads toward the Pas de Belcom viewpoint locked up for hours. Some drivers reported 5 to 7 hours of travel across a few kilometers. The island had not seen an eruption since August 2023, and Réunion treated January 18th accordingly. In retrospect, it was the first act of a much longer story. The second eruption of 2026 began at 10:06 on the morning of February 13th, following a new seismic crisis beneath the summit. Fissures opened on the south-southeast flank of the terminal cone. A scoria cone began forming at the main vent from accumulated ejecta and lava fountains reaching around 15 meters. In the early weeks, it looked contained. The lava was well channeled, the flow rate was low, and the active front was still well inside the caldera system. But the eruption kept going. Through late February and into March, the southern arm of the flow continued downslope through the Grand Penties. By March 11th, it had advanced to within 1.1 kilometers of the coast road. To understand why that mattered, you need to understand Réunion's geography. The island is a volcano sitting in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and the terrain it has built over hundreds of thousands of years is not gentle. The interior is dominated by 3 ancient calderas and mountain ridges that rise sharply from the coast. There is no easy way across the island. The road network follows the coastline, and on the southeastern side, National Route 2 is the only paved road that connects the communities of the south with the towns of the east. For the roughly 900,000 people who live on Réunion, and for the hundreds of thousands of tourists who arrive each year drawn partly by the volcano itself, the RN2 is not a scenic route. It is the route. When it closes, the detour adds an hour or more to journeys that are already constrained by the island's shape. Supply chains stretch. Emergency access becomes slower. The communities of the Grand Brûlé sector, already sitting in the path of any lava that exits the caldera, are suddenly at the end of a much longer road. On March 12th, authorities raised the volcanic alert to level 2-2 and pre-closed the RN2 in the Grand Brûlé sector. The following morning, at 8 o'clock local time, the first arm of the flow crossed the road surface. A second arm followed at 9:27. At that point, the active front was still approximately 670 meters from the shoreline. The last time lava had crossed this road was during the April to May 2007 eruption. Engineers rebuilt the road after that lava cooled. Signs along that stretch of coast still mark the year of each crossing. March 13, 2026 added another date to that list. At approximately 0:20 local time on March 16th, lava reached the Indian Ocean. It had traveled 7 kilometers from the eruptive site, down through the Grand Penties, across the Grand Brûlé, over the RN2, and into the water. Copernicus Sentinel-2 satellite imagery from that day shows the full path in a single frame, a narrow bright channel running from the volcanic slopes to the coast, crossing older grey lava fields before reaching the ocean. The plume at the water's edge looked like steam. It was not. When basaltic lava enters seawater, the rapid cooling and chemical reaction produces what volcanologists call lays, a mixture of hydrochloric acid and fine volcanic glass particles. Lays is a respiratory hazard. Officials warn people to stay well clear of the coastal zone near the entry point. The new land grew fast. By March 20th, OVPF measurements showed the lava delta extended roughly 129 meters into the ocean across a width of 665 meters, approximately 3.7 hectares of coastline that did not exist 4 weeks earlier. A secondary branch reached the sea between March 18th and 20th, widening the platform further to about 840 meters along the pre-existing coast. Sulfur dioxide output from the eruption prompted air quality alerts from the Préfet de la Réunion, including for Bourg Murat well inland. Piton de la Fournaise also produces Pélé's hair during eruptions, threads of volcanic glass drawn from lava fountains by wind, light enough to drift hundreds of meters and sharp enough to irritate skin and eyes on contact. Trail access across the Grand Brûlé was restricted. The danger from this eruption was not an explosion. It was gas, glass, acid, and a road cut in two. As of March 22nd, one eruptive site remains active on the south-southeast flank at an altitude of 2,056 meters.
The cone is now well developed. Lava fountain activity has resumed, with ejections visible roughly 10 meters above the cone rim from the Piton de Bert viewpoint. Lava tubes established within the flow system maintain supply to the active front while reducing visible surface activity. Volcanologists at the OVPF continue to track tremor, gas output, and lava flux. The northern arm of the flow field remains approximately 2.8 kilometers from the RN2 and appears stable. The eruption is not finished. It is a system still in motion, still being read.
Piton de la Fournaise is one of the few volcanoes that can look controlled right up until it reminds everyone that it is not. On Réunion, the lava stayed mostly where geology expected it to. But this month it crossed the road, hit the ocean, and added new ground to an island that had none there before. That is what an active shield volcano does when it decides to run. If you found this useful, subscribe now so you do not miss the next one. There is a video on screen right now, go watch it.